Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Read.
Where am I?
The fuck are we?
We're reading a story. That's
A
what
Haze in Equestria 2, The Trials of Love. A nightmare-ish haze. Chapter 1, It Returns. I'm Duhad, this is Mire, that's Belil.
All right,
Fine.
let's get on with it.
Oh my god, there's already a fucking sex thing in the
Oh my...
It was a warm day in the cottage at the edge of the ever-free forest, where a butter yellow Pegasus made her home. She cared for all sorts of animals. Today, however, she wasn't caring for her animals. She was locked inside her room. All of her animals were eating, and she was alone in her room doing private things.
She's cleaning a rifle barrel and saying...
Alright.
Fluttershy was rubbing her marehood, moaning, as she humped her cloud bed furiously as she felt herself lose herself in pleasure. As she gazed up at the picture she had in her hoof, a picture of a certain alicorn of red and black in her hoof that was not preoccupied, as she went into a flashback. After Silver returned from the human world.
She went into a flat.
She's returned into the past. Okay.
More flashbacks.
So,
Alright. What is it?
this eep.
Ep? No, narrator said
Ep.
that. So this is her. I've seen the way you've been looking at me, miss.
Silver, hi. I'm sorry about Twilight breaking up with you. Yeah.
Really? Because I don't think you are.
What? I don't know what you mean.
You're blushing. And I think I know why.
Can I go now? I mean, you're kind of blocking the door. I don't want to bother you.
This has become a sex story at this point.
Yep.
Green text rape. I mean...
What?
I mean, you know I've been thinking about when you called me a dick. Oh, excuse me. Meanie face.
How did you confuse the two?
I don't know. That is the first time any mortal has insulted me in my whole life. Without backing down. Do you know how that made me feel?
Oh my god, he's gonna say horny. He's gonna say horny.
No, it's worse than that, actually.
I'm not even gonna try anymore. Silver, you're kind of scaring me.
Well, Fluttershy, let me tell you.
Gasp.
It made me hot as shit.
That's disgusting. I didn't know he was in a fecal play.
Oh, God.
Silver, but what about Twilight that you cheat on all the fucking time and like until you abuse her all the time? So like,
her? I'm going to get back together with her in like an hour. But first, she decided she could see someone else. Bitch. So I decided to do the same thing.
Wait,
a second time.
Aren't you already doing that?
A second time.
Wait, is this author really trying to go back and be like, actually, it was justified on everything?
Yes. So let's see how hard I can make you blush.
Oh god, there's a tilde.
I'm not gonna scream that.
That's okay.
Oh, Silver, yes, right there. What? He's just like he hasn't touched you yet.
No.
If that's all right with you, I wanna go home.
Peasant. Fluttershy gasped as she felt herself climax. As the waves of pleasure washed over her, she recalled the very similar one Silver had given her. On it was better than. She couldn't describe what it was about it that just made it better. Fluttershy sighed as she lied back, her wet hoof still firmly between her legs. She didn't hate Twilight, but just as her dream stallion picked her up in his hooves, she decided that she wanted him again, leaving her high and dry. She knew that Silver didn't even mention her and him and their time together between Twilight returning to Equestria, but she didn't mind. Really. Oh, who was she kidding? She was so lonely. The powerless and meek Fluttershy, always too shy to stand up for what she wanted among her friends. The last time she tried, she was turned into a bat.
Wait a minute. Wait, I have to interrupt. She said in between her returning to Equestria.
Yeah.
From the portal, didn't Silver go with her and stay the entire time? He slept through the entire thing?
Yes.
Yes. So, canon break.
So it was just in her dreams.
Yes.
Suddenly, she had a bad feeling in her gut, like something was watching her. She turned around and saw nothing. Sighing, she stood up, still silver hazing out her window towards Ponyville. She turned and opened the door.
Okay, hold on. So this is another OC, so I'll get this one. Oh, there is she eat us.
The bloody mutated pony, hyper-realistic blood, said through the smile made of sharpened teeth, with empty eye sockets that seemed to steal your soul. With black pouring out of them.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Fluttershy
Fluttershy
didn't even have time to scream before the monster opened his mouth, and dark tentacles flew out and shoved themselves down her throat and other places.
Oh.
The last thing she saw were those eyes, those empty eyes, and the fog. The fog, her god, she served. The alicorn would die.
You'd think that...
Oh, it looks like I'm reading this whole fucking thing,
You'd
apparently.
think that the horse would end up being a female monster because, 90% of the population is female.
You would think that.
Twilight, Silver, and Luna all woke up at once, groaning from the long, sore night before their awaking all at the same time, ready to both start the day and roll over and go to sleep again, but it as good a time to get up as they all had things to do, and Silver and Twilight needed to go back to Ponyville where their friends were, so as much they all ecstagged their hellos, though Twilight was a bit weird about it, but it was okay because she was just so adorable about it. So then they all decided to go get some breakfast from the Royal Kitchen. Hash browns were on the menu today, so everyone was excited. All one sentence. Silver Haze groaned as he personally sat at the table and poked at his breakfast. He was having a rather bad day as far as days go, with Solstia shooting him death grips and Luna and Twilight being weird about last night. He was not in the best mood. His hash browns weren't even really that golden brown. She was saddened.
Fucking heresy.
She was saddened by all the stress, but at least now Silver could go back to Ponyville with Twilight and have a break for a bit. No big adventures, just him, Twilight, and some fun around Ponyville with his friends, maybe flying with Rainbow, or having Rarity make him a suit on commission for any special occasions. Perhaps he'd get a job at Sweet Apple to use his free time, or help Flutter. Silver Haze stooped mid-thought, all his gears grinding to a halt. Perhaps this wasn't the best time to talk to Fluttershy. She and him were a ward right now, and she and him had, well, after Twilight broke up with him, he got into a dark place. Even though he planned most of it, he had hoped he wouldn't have to do it if she wasn't unfaithful first. Still, though, he felt guilty for lying about it, and he knew Fluttershy was not doing well with him just taking back Twilight, even though she knew he was just having sex with her to let off some steam. But he soon realized that was her first time, and he had meant that he was going to be with her now. Cool. Even though an alicorn prince is about as good as you get for losing your virginity, he still felt bad, nay, guilty about misleading her a bit on the nature of their collaboration. So he decided that once things had cooled off between him and Twi, he would talk to Flutters and then tell Twilight everything. Well, maybe not everything, but the first time was all she really needed to know about. So with that decided, Silver Haze went back to picking at his food, a determined look on his face as he heroically ate his slightly burned breakfast and planned the relaxing days ahead he had planned for him and his purple lover Twilight Sparkle.
Isn't Luna also a shade of purple?
I I think so. I guess.
So so technically,
That's his type.
two purple lovers.
Yeah, that's his type.
Okay, so this is Luna. So you gotta be all right, Balil.
Yeah, your lines.
Art thou sure thou must leavest so soon?
Luna yelled in Silver's ear as he chuckled at Luna's pouty face as he packed for his trip back to Ponyville as this fucking run-on sentence continued as into the next paragraph.
Yes, Luna, I need to go away from this
Yes.
crazy place, away from Celestia before she decides to take another swing at me, and I just go relax for a bit without worrying about some crazy world-ending species-destroying monster or even event that might shake Equestria to its core. I'm frankly getting tired of its nonstop. It's almost fun the first time, except for the whole dead father and stuff.
Oh, is that foreshadowing because there is a world-ending species destroy monster or event?
Also, hasn't it been like a couple of months since the last one?
Yeah, I guess. Luna winced as Silver made the last joke at his own expense, and then he died. Her and her adoptive father may have been distant, but she knew how much he meant to Silver.
Wait.
I guess she's not screaming anymore.
Yeah.
I am truly sorry, for thou lost love, Haze. Okay, let's just include thou because that's totally Old English. But thou have vanquished thy evil, and that slain your father and king. You know that the author structured these sentences just so she can include that in there?
Yes.
You have truly avenged thou's father. The fog is gone. Huzzah for you.
Luna ended the words with a kiss on Haze's no apostrophe cheek, which he just chuckled half-heartedly at.
I'm surprised that that ended the fog, though I knew Sombra was powerful. But to corrupt a dragon? Destroy Alicornia? Something just doesn't add up, love. Cheers. And it's getting to me.
Haze...
I can't believe... Okay, the author switches between Alicornia and,
That's...
Silver Haze got into a terrible accident.
Hello, fire truck.
our rhymes were too fire just then.
Haze said as he packed his last suitcase and walked out of the room besides Luna.
Thou worried too much, Silver. Take joy in your victory. Hello, Ashen One, and enjoy your time in Ponyville. We shall watch over your ship and make sure such horror does not befall it again. Wait, so when it crashed and there were two southern Earth horses there?
Yes.
Luna called as Silver smiled at Twilight and boarded the Canterlot Express down to Ponyville Station. It was a quick few-hour train ride down, so Silver settled in, cuddled up to Twilight, and smiled as he felt himself slowly drift off to dreamland.
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
One for the road. Happiness always awaited him there. One of the perks of knowing the goddess of dreams is that you tend to get special treatment from time to time.
Speakle.
One of the nice things about knowing the author is that you get special treatment from time to time in your story.
You know what? We should see if we can meet the author at one day.
Silver was jolted awake by Twilight nudging him.
Okay. Come on, Sylvie. We're back at Ponyville. Everyone has come here to greet us, and we're the guests. We don't want to keep Pinky and her party waiting now, do we?
I nodded happy at Twilight's words, and so we left the train to find everyone waiting for us at the station.
Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Hello, Twilight and Silver!
They all cheered. We both laughed, and Twilight and I hugged everyone, and then Pinky yelled,
Let's... Oh, God, Jesus, that sounded like, whatever.
That sounded
Johnny
like Pinkie
with
Pie.
Plank.
That sounded like Pinkie Pie.
Let's get this party started!
And then some party music came out of who knows where, and without even thinking, every pony just started to dance. Whoa, it's silly and wacky.
It's Rarity.
Hey, Meyer, do you want to play Rarity?
Sure. Oh, my stars, darling, you look as fabulous as every both of you, said Rarity.
Welcome back, you guys.
said Rainbow.
Well, boy, howdy, you tin look at fin as air, I see.
Said Applejack.
It's so awesome. You're back. Let's go get some grub, you sugar cube corner.
Said Pinky. I think this is you.
Okay.
This is Silver.
Yeah, it's
Great to see you all again.
Said Silver.
But where's Fluttershy?
I looked around. The narrator looked around.
shit. Whoa.
And no pony seemed to speak up.
Wasn't she here?
No, this is Rarity.
Okay.
Oh, wasn't she on her way? Rarity asked. And the rest seemed to think or shake their head.
Oh, that's Silver.
Yes. Do you think we should check her cottage?
I said, and the other all agreed.
No, don't. Don't go in her shed.
Hey, stay out of my
Okay,
head.
we're on the last page here. After long trek to Fluttershy's cottage, I knock on the door.
All right. Knock on the door. Okay. Fluttershy, are you there? Twilight and I return from Canterlot.
I said. There was no sounds, but an eerie purplish blue light flooded out from the cracks in her door.
I think something's going on in there.
I said, as I heroically stood back and then pushed forward, throwing myself against the door.
No! Don't open that door!
Before I could try again,
Holy shit, I can't believe the narrator's sacrificing themselves.
yeah, Twilight turned the knob with her magic and pulled the door outward. I chuckled as I blushed. Walking inside, I became aware of how everything became silver hazy. I suddenly
Oh my
heard
god,
a
they were
very
smoking poison joke.
I suddenly heard a very familiarly giggle come from the bedroom, ironically from where exactly I heard it last time. Ayo! Rushing forward, I stood in front of the room. My eyes recoiled in horror. How did that happen? As I looked at what was in the room, everyone else came behind me and also gasped.
Hold on, real quick before I read this next bit. Just want to say, splooge. I hope this isn't silver splooge. All right. Hello, haze.
The abomination said in Fluttershy's voice, as it sliced into a dead pony, once he did not recognize,
Oh, good.
who was hanging from the ceiling, a blindfold over its eyes, smiling the whole time as black smoke instead of blood fell out of it as a red light flickered on underneath the blindfold as she body began to convulse. The abomination was terrifying. Oh yeah, it sounds terrifying. It kind of looked like Fluttershy,
Beast within.
but with a darker coat, as well as a cute mark that was nothing more than a black ink spot. Bat-like ears and fangs
smell?
were more noticeable features that
Oh
he
my God,
recognized,
this is a fucking
but he
vampire.
couldn't bring himself to look her in the dark, empty eye sockets that black fog pooled out of a red being. The only thing that moved inside the sockets as they darted around the room in different directions. Each light with a mind of its own. Her body was covered with small and large gashes where black fog poured out, causing a black pool of fog to form around her hooves. Her wings were covered with fog,
Jesus.
but he could make out the bat-like wings underneath. The most horrifying part was the way she would occasionally bend her limbs in almost unnatural ways,
It's a crooked
And-
man.
and move in a way that was almost impossible for a living thing. Silver Haze gulped. So much for an uneventful, peaceful stay in Ponyville with his friends, because he recognized the changes in fog instantly from his traumatic fight to save his home.
Didn't he go into purgatory for like ever?
Yes.
The fog had returned, and now it had taken one of his best friends, who he also boned, and took the virginity of and crushed her heart like powder.
Wow.
Suddenly, Silver Haze gritted his teeth, bent down, and growled.
What is a man? You will not take her darkness. I dare you fight me.
Ruining her life? That's my job. Author's note.
Hey, every pony, Silver Haze here with a new chapter of a new arc. I love you all. I love all of you bronies who stuck by me this far. I thank you for every work you write. Sure, the haters have brought me down, but you guys who read this lift me up. Thank you.
So if we're the haters, but we're also reading it, does she just stay in the same spot?
She's neutral towards us.
Okay.
This is going to be the biggest adventure Silver has found himself in yet, all because he wanted vacation. Poor Haze.
I feel so much sympathy.
Also, if you haven't already checked out https://www.
Let's see what this is.
Doing
story.
that.
Let's see what's... Oh.
Oh.
A
Let's
Silver Haze, a Haze onward, a seed grown.
See. Oh. I think that's his kid.
.net story, blah, 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 blah. An AU story set in the Haze verse.
Which haze verse is which?
Parentheses.
Is there a silver verse and the other one's a haze verse?
Yes. Ha! I might have to create a fan page to keep all the Haze stories if I keep making them.
I would love to be a part of that.
Take it from Little B.
Please.
Just because you're prolific doesn't mean you make quality work.
Yeah.
Well, but you
Keep
should
reading.
make a Facebook page.
Yeah. So keep reading the story and get a little bit sized adventure from the new story. They are just short little chunks to keep the suspense up each chapter. Also, on a more serious note, after rereading the chapter, I feel perhaps some of the things came across differently than I originally intended them to. So I'm putting a disclaimer here.
At the end of this one.
At the end of a couple chapters later, everyone in HIEQ and HIEQ2 is off legal age and consents to all sexual acts performed. Silver Haze understands that no means no. Rape is wrong, unless she doesn't want to have sex with you, in which case, let's face it, how else are you going to have sex with her? Love you all, Silver Haze.
Hey. Remember, it's not rape, it's just sexual abuse.
See you guys next time.
End recording.
That one. And